Hey everyone, this is Bridget, and today we're going to be talking about how to stay healthy all winter long so that you're vibrant and revitalized for spring and summer and the next year. Because we're cyclical beings and it's very important to stay with these natural rhythms, and I'm going to give you all kinds of immune boosting tips and holistic different alternatives if you do get sick, and just reframing and kind of giving a different mind perspective to the matrix programming of this fall and winter season so that you don't get placed under the illusion of what's actually really going on. So that's what we're going to be getting into today. So as we look at this idea of staying healthy in the fall and winter, the reason why I even wanted to do this is because I'm seeing people starting to even like get under the weather right now, and it's like it's the middle of October. You know, like we need to build our bodies so that they're vibrant to do everything we need to do on our missions here on earth and be healthy and happy people. So it's really important to pay attention to our bodies and also our energy levels. So that's what we're going to get into. So let's start with this kind of like matrix programming so that you kind of get like a frame for where we're going with this. So first of all, the fall and the winter are times to regenerate the lungs, which if you follow the lens of Chinese medicine, that's what we're wanting to build and regenerate the respiratory system in the fall. And then in the winter, it's the kidneys and adrenals. And most people burn those out all year long, drinking coffee and hustling because there's no off button to earth or humanity or jobs or the internet. And so we don't have, like, we have to take that time and space for ourselves. But one of the things that's happening when we need to be actually going in and receiving, regenerating, like on the energetic physical level and also the psychic level so that we're ready for the new season in the spring. But what is happening with the programming is that actually, no, you don't have time to do that because you've got Halloween, you've got Thanksgiving, which is built on false pretenses, and then you've got Christmas, and then you have New Year's. So we've got like 4 major holidays, all of which are quite unhealthy holidays that are falling right in the time, especially like winter solstice, right? Where you're like meant to be at home, like sleeping in candlelight, you know, connecting with your soul. And no, you need to be out till 2 a.m. drinking alcohol in high heels or whatever, you know, just because it's like these cultural niceties. So the first thing that I want to say is just to be aware that these are all programs. Like, we don't actually have to participate in these, or we can participate in ways that are really going to benefit us. So one of the first hacks is this idea of acid and alkaline. It's the perspective of keeping the pH balance in your body in balance. And what happens is when you're eating sugar, when you're having alcohol, when you're having lots of gluten and carbs and fats and starches and stuff, it makes you very acidic. And then also just kind of running around, stress, I need presence, oh, I have to be with my family, like whatever all these different like weird things are that are going on. It creates an acidic environment within the body, within the psyche, and that's like the basis to getting sick. And one of the things too is that, you know, in the fall and winter it gets cold in many parts of the world. Sorry, Australia, you're gonna have to watch this in like June or July. But generally for the rest of the world, aside from the southern hemisphere, which I'm speaking to right now, is we've forgotten how to stay like healthy and get the nutrients we need and get the alkalinity, which you can think of as just green living nutrients. We've forgotten how to do this in the winter because oftentimes, well, one, we get like so sidetracked by all the like yummy, delicious, sugary things, and two, when we're taught also how to cook things, we are taught to just like boil the spinach to death or whatever, when we can keep things alive and vibrant without killing them. And so keeping this alkaline perspective and keeping up on your green drinks, keeping up on all of your vegetables and fresh foods, and also adding in probiotics is going to be a huge way to keep this alkaline up in the face of all of like the acidity that is coming around. So as you go to like parties or functions, you can always bring a dish of your own to make sure that you get the nutrients or you're eating the way that you want, so that you don't have to leave it to other people as to what you're going to be ingesting and how that's maybe going to make you feel in the next few days or over the next few months. So it's really just kind of being a little bit more proactive with it and being really present rather than just kind of getting spun out and not having time and all this other stuff. And just knowing that you can say no. You don't have to participate in certain things that you don't want to participate in. And that's totally fine. And learning to say no is a whole topic in and of itself, but just me giving you that permission right now might be helpful. And you can say no to certain parties, or you can leave early, or you might not have to go to that thing or give those presents, so just letting it go, because much of that is programming. And then the things you do want to go to, set it up and structure it and design it so that it's something that keeps you vibrant and keeps you alive in your own body. So now getting into some of the immune tips. So I'm going to also put a PDF of all of these tips for you guys in the comments and in the bio, so that you don't have to be like writing things down or forget things, so that it's all right there as kind of like a winter guide to your health and vitality. So it's like your little checklist. So be sure to go check that out and snatch that for yourself to have this winter. But one of the things that comes up in this idea of building the immune system and staying balanced is this idea of the positive charge that comes with the fall and winter. This is the drying of the air. There's more wind. And so what happens is that's discordant with the body. And positive charge creates inflammation, imbalances, lowers the immune system and stuff. So what we need is a negative charge, which we usually get in the summer when we're barefoot on the earth. And so we need to still make sure to go out and do that, even though it's cold. And also, one of the things that I've noticed through the organic clothing lens, which I suggest going and watching that video and checking out my blog on that, is that most people's clothes and bedding is synthetic. And the synthetic material, once it's washed and dried, gets static electricity. And the static electricity is positive charge. It's not what we want. So each time you get that shock, it lowers your immune system. So actually transitioning your bedding and your clothes to organic natural materials doesn't do that, which blows my mind. So if there's one synthetic piece in the washer, it'll do that. But then if there isn't, there's no static electricity. So that'll help actually balance your immune system. How does this hemp cotton balance my immune system? It's strange, right? But natural materials do that. So now let's get into some of the other immune boosting tips. One of my favorite tips is to be proactive, all right? And build the immune system, which is getting the nutrition in there, getting the greens and the green juices, the vibrant living foods in there, so they don't get sick in the first place. Take time to rest, say no, enjoy the winter, cozy up, go ground, go earth, and then you're just not even gonna get sick in the first place. But a lot of people's immune systems are, on the lower end. Don't get flu shot. Anyways, is to take certain supplements such as medicinal mushrooms. They're one of the most immune boosting things that we can have. The Paul Stamets brand that's at most natural places is probably the best. So just go get that, all right? And get a holistic immune boosting tincture that you use for the whole fall and winter, and get your whole family on it. One of my other tips, and I have this here because it's just gonna be fun for you to watch me intake this is cold pressed juicer. You can just juice it in your juicer if you have a juicer, or if you don't have a juicer, you could blend it and then strain it, but ideally get a juicer. You'll need it anyways. Cold press is best. This is cold pressed ginger and lemons, which I made, it's really intense. And then what you do, this is a shot, and then you put a drop of organic oregano oil in it, which makes it burn even more. And I got this tip from this place called the Vitamin Barn in Malibu when I was studying in college, when I was 19, 12 years ago or something like that. And it's amazing. And so they have these wellness shots, and you take, like one in the morning or one before bed. If you're sick, maybe 3 times a day. And this will wipe anything out. It's really amazing. And so if you like alcohol, you'll like it even more, because this is my version of alcohol. And I would give it even to kids in smaller doses, maybe water it down, something like that. But this is like one of the best things that you can do. All right, let's do this. Ugh. It's really strong and it burns. I don't even have the oregano oil in this one. That burns even more. But you'll start to like it because it'll feel really good. I do these I give these to people at our retreats, and they're like this at first, But then when I pull it back out for myself, they always come over and have more. If you're willing to do it for alcohol, then you're willing to do it for your health, okay? So think of it that way. So the mushrooms, something like this, just keeping up with your green drinks, the green powder drinks or juicing, just keep up with those things, and that's gonna really set you on your path. Be sure to be getting the nutrients you need, such as vitamin D. If you were pale all summer, you're gonna need your vitamin D, but nonetheless, we're needing it more nowadays because of chemtrails that blocks the sun rays, and so we don't get as much of it. Be sure to continue to detox, like I am right now because it's hot, and that ginger's really hot. But continue to sweat. So go and watch my detox video, which is really helpful because, once it's cold and we put on a bunch of clothes and we don't move as much, we're still getting all the toxicity from the environment and everything, and the body needs to release it. So whether that's hot yoga or amazing sauna, I love the near infrared sauna because it goes so deep and it's so detoxifying. Again, all of these links will be in the bio, in the PDF, if you want to check them out. This ginger is still really hot in my mouth as I'm talking. So be sure to sweat. Chlorella detox, and so that your body has the strength and resilience to fight any little bugs that come up. So the last piece is, if you do get sick, what do you do? Now, I am not a medical professional or any of that weird jazz, the preface, but I highly recommend not going and getting antibiotics, nor going and getting the flu shot. That stuff is creepy. There's weird stuff in that. So what are some things that you can do as an alternative? Well, one, start with that ginger shot. That's definitely going to help wipe things out. Drink lots of water. Again, get in the nutrients. Let your body be flushed, right, with these nutrient-dense things to move that through. People like soups and like chicken noodle soup and stuff, but I would go for the misos and things that have probiotics, and take probiotic supplement so that you're getting like the good bacteria in there. And even though you're having something warm, it's not cooked and boiled to death. I have a blog on that. We'll put all of this in the link. There's a lot here. And then one of the great things that you can do is take colloidal silver, and that doesn't destroy your whole body like antibiotics do. It's intelligent in a way. It just kills what is not needed and still leaves things pretty preserved in your body. So colloidal silver is quite magical in that way to ingest. And we have a really good colloidal silver maker that we make for ourselves. And when I was thinking about doing this video, we're going to make a nice big batch for anyone that wants it, so that it's a lower price than what the market is, because on the market is quite expensive sometimes. And so you can check that out in the links as well to get that colloidal silver from us. That's going to be a really good price and really good quality. And so the colloidal silver is a really good way. And I'm going to be sending a bottle to my nephew, because instead of taking antibiotics, I'm like, okay, let's get you on the silver and get you on the other stuff. It's good to take probiotics when you take the silver, and in any cases anyways, so be sure to do that. I'm gonna look at my list now. Golden seal tincture, all this stuff is just gonna make your face like cringe. Golden seal is really good. Continuing with the mushrooms, sweating, fermented foods, mushroom tea. You can get the wild chaga tea on Etsy. Just Google it, and you'll get the bark, and that goes a really long way and is a wonderful tea, and it was a wonderful base for soups. So that kind of thing is really good if you're sick, and just to continue to enhance your immune system. So those are my tips if you do get sick and what to do. But really just take time for yourself this fall and winter and go between realms. There's so much to tune into when we quiet our minds and quiet ourselves. It's our chance, it's our permission to do that. So really let yourself do that, and even just giving yourself that time and space will enhance your immune system, enhance your vibration, so that you won't be in the mix with all the zombie apocalypse humans this winter. So I hope that these tips have been helpful. I really appreciate you guys watching. For more daily updates, and why I am even doing this video is because of Instagram, so go over and check me out there. Be sure to subscribe and like, and hit the little bell button so you get notifications every time I do new videos. Comment below to let me and everyone else know what your tips are for staying healthy in the fall and the winter. And be sure to go check out that PDF with all of this information in it so that you don't have to write any notes or anything to get your little guide for the winter to stay healthy. And I'll see you next week with another video. Thanks so much for watching. I love you guys.